Okay, so let's be real for a sec. Who hasn't felt like they're drowning in to-dos lately? Between work and family and just trying to, keep up with the world, it's easy to feel like you're barely treading water, right?
Totally.
That's exactly why you sent us this awesome well-being guide, and that's what we're diving deep into today. Real strategies backed by science to build a toolkit that actually helps you navigate the chaos.
I'm excited to break it down.
Me too. We're going to pull out the best tips for managing stress, boosting your mood, and finding some clarity when life feels like a five-alarm fire drill. We're talking things you can use right now, like a breathing trick that's so simple you can do it anywhere. And get this, we're going to talk about the power of saying no.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
Right.
And what's really cool is we're not just going to tell you what to do,
Mm-hmm.
but why it works.
Mm.
We'll look at the neuroscience, the psychology, the actual research.
So we're not just getting a list of tips, we're getting the why behind
Yeah.
it. I love that. Okay, so first up, taming the stress monster. Your guide starts with daily mindfulness and guided meditation. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time to sit on a mountaintop and chant. But mindfulness is way more accessible than that, right?
That's sure.
It's about being present right here, right now,
Right.
without getting swept away by all the mental chatter. And guided meditation kind of takes that a step further. It gives you a voice to focus on, leads you through it. And the best part is apps like Headspace or Calm make it super easy to fit it in.
Yeah, I use those sometimes.
They're great, right?
Really helpful for getting started.
Okay, so here's what's happening behind the scenes when you do this stuff.
Okay, tell me.
You're training your brain to respond differently to stress. It's
Interesting.
like building mental muscle,
Yeah.
you know? So those everyday challenges don't throw you off balance as easily.
Yeah, makes sense.
And get this.
What?
Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice can physically change the structure of your brain.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It leads to increased gray matter in the areas associated with emotional regulation and self-awareness.
So it's not just some, woo-woo concept. There's real science behind it.
Exactly. It's not just fluff. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to another classic. Exercise. Your guide suggests aiming for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise, most days of the week. But what I love about this guide is that it emphasizes achievable activities. We're not talking about crazy boot camps. It's about finding ways to move your body that you enjoy, like walking, jogging, dancing, even yoga.
All good stuff.
It doesn't have to be intense.
Not at all.
Just get moving.
Right, and it's not just about physical health either. Exercise has a huge impact on your mood and stress levels.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We all know about those feel-good endorphins, but did you know that studies have shown exercise can be just as effective as antidepressants for mild to moderate depression?
I did not know that.
That's like a natural mood booster.
That's incredible.
Plus, regular exercise improves sleep quality too, which helps reduce the impact of stress even more.
So many benefits. Okay, I'm lacing up my sneakers as we speak. Now let's tackle something I know a lot of us struggle with. Time management. This is where the power of no comes in. Your guide's all about setting boundaries and learning to prioritize what truly matters. Because let's face it, a lot of that overwhelm comes from saying yes to way too many things.
Oh, I'm so guilty of that.
Right.
It's hard to say no.
It is. It is.
But when you think about it, how often do you say yes to things out of obligation or guilt? Even when you know you don't have the time or energy.
All the time.
Right. And that feeling of overwhelm, it's often tied to a sense of being out of control.
Makes sense.
Saying no is about reclaiming your agency.
So it's not selfish.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's about taking control. It's about deciding what truly deserves your time and energy. It's a really powerful shift.
It's about saying yes to your own well-being.
Exactly.
See, this is what I love about this deep dive. It's not just about checking off boxes. It's about understanding the deeper why behind these strategies. Okay, let's talk about those healthy lifestyle choices. The ones we all know we should be making. But your guide doesn't just say, eat your veggies and get some sleep. It actually explains how these choices directly affect your brain chemistry and your ability to handle stress.
Which is so important.
Is.
It's easy to dismiss those things as just good habits. But they have a huge impact on your resilience.
Like sleep, for example.
Yes, sleep is so crucial.
It's a connection there.
Well, did you know that lack of sleep actually makes your brain more sensitive to stress signals?
Really?
Yeah, it's like your brain is on high alert all the time,
Yeah.
making you more reactive, less able to cope with challenges.
I can see that.
That's why aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about giving your brain the downtime it needs to function properly.
See, It's not just about being a morning person or a night owl. Sleep is serious business.
It really is.
Okay, before we move on, I have to share this gem from your guide. The 4-count breathing technique. It's so simple, I almost dismissed it. But when I actually tried it, whoa, game changer.
I love that technique.
It's so easy, right? You breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, that's it.
And yet so effective.
Right.
It's not just some random relaxation trick. It's tapping into your nervous system's physiology.
Tell me more.
Those deep, slow breaths activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's chill-out system.
Okay, I like where this is going.
It slows down your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, calms your whole system down. It's like hitting the brakes on that fight-or-flight response.
That's amazing.
And it only takes a few minutes. You can do it anywhere, anytime. Waiting in line, stuck in traffic, feeling overwhelmed at work. It's your secret weapon.
I love it. A secret weapon against stress. You know, it's funny, I was a little skeptical about this whole breathing thing at first, but now I'm a believer.
I get it. It seems so simple, right?
Yeah.
But it really works.
It does. It does. Okay, we've talked about taming the stress monster. We've learned about the 4-count breathing technique. What's next on our well-being journey?
Well, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about how to boost your mood.
Ooh, yes, please. I think we could all use a little more joy in our lives.
Absolutely. And this section goes beyond just surface-level tips. It's about understanding why certain things can actually shift our emotions.
I'm intrigued.
Me too.
Let's dive in. Okay, so we just learned how a few seconds of focused breathing can actually shift our nervous system. That's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
I'm ready to dive into the next part of your well-being guide. It's all about boosting our mood.
Yes.
And frankly, who couldn't use a little more joy these days?
Right.
So tell me more about this.
Well, I love that this section goes beyond just, surface-level tips. It's about understanding the deeper reasons why certain activities or practices can actually change our emotional state.
I like that. We talked earlier about how saying no is about reclaiming our agency. But I have to admit, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around that. Isn't saying no kind of like selfish?
That's a really common misconception.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. But think about it this way. When you constantly say yes to things
Yeah.
that you don't have the time or energy for, you're actually depleting yourself. You're sacrificing your own well-being to please others.
Oh.
That's not selfish. That's self-sabotage.
Wow. Okay.
Saying no is about setting healthy boundaries so you can show up as your best self for the things that truly matter.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about honoring your own needs and limits.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first before helping others. Right.
Exactly. And when you approach it from that perspective, it becomes much easier to say no without feeling guilty.
I could see that.
Remember, you're not responsible for everyone else's happiness. You're responsible for your own.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light. Now let's talk about something that's been a game changer for me. Curating my social media feed. It's so easy to get sucked into the negativity and comparison trap, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
But intentionally choosing to follow accounts that inspire me, that uplift me, that make me laugh, it's like a breath of fresh air.
It really is. It's incredible how much power we have over our online environment.
We do.
It's easy to forget that we're constantly bombarded with messages, images, opinions, all of which can subtly shape our mood and outlook.
True.
By unfollowing accounts that make you feel anxious or inadequate or just plain drained, and instead seeking out those that bring you joy, knowledge, or community. You're creating a digital sanctuary for your mental well-being.
I love that, a digital sanctuary. It's so true. It's about being intentional with what we allow into our minds, even in the online world.
Yeah, and it makes such a difference.
Okay, so we've talked about setting boundaries, curating our digital space, and the power of saying no. What other gems does your guide offer for boosting our mood?
Well, one technique that really stands out to me is gratitude journaling.
Gratitude journaling.
Yeah, it sounds almost too simple to be effective, but there's a lot of research to support it.
Really?
Yeah. The idea is to simply write down 3 things you're grateful for each day.
Okay.
Could be something big, something small, something you might normally take for granted.
I've tried gratitude journaling before, but I have to admit, I often struggled to come up with things, like I felt like I was forcing it.
I hear you. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that gratitude is about focusing on the good things and ignoring the bad things.
Right.
But it's not about denying the challenges or difficulties in your life. It's about shifting your perspective, training yourself to notice and appreciate the good, even amidst the chaos.
Okay, I like that.
And here's the fascinating part. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude actually changes your brain.
What? No way.
Yeah, it strengthens neural pathways
Yeah.
associated with positive emotions and can even lead to increased levels of dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good neurotransmitters.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment, it's about rewiring your brain for more happiness over time.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
pretty powerful.
it is. And the best part, it only takes a few minutes each day. Even writing down just one thing you're grateful for can have a positive impact on your mood.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm adding that back into my routine. What else does this mood-boosting toolkit have for us?
Well, let's talk about something that's often overlooked, but incredibly important. Social connection.
Social connection.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in our busy lives and neglect our relationships.
True.
But research has shown that strong social connections are essential for both our physical and mental well-being.
I've always thought of myself as an introvert, someone who thrives on solitude. But even I have to admit, when I'm feeling down, connecting with a close friend or family member
Right.
is like an instant mood booster. It's like a reminder that I'm not alone,
I feel that.
that there are people who care about me and want to support me.
Exactly. We're social creatures by nature. We crave connection, belonging, a sense of community.
We do.
And those connections don't have to be limited to friends and family. Joining a club, volunteering, even striking up a conversation with a stranger. All of these interactions can contribute to our well-being.
So it's about stepping outside our comfort zones, putting ourselves out there, making an effort to connect, even in small ways.
Absolutely. And you might be surprised at the positive ripple effect it has, not just on your mood, but on those around you.
It's contagious.
It really is.
Okay, so we've covered gratitude journaling, social connection, and curating our online environments. What other mood-boosting strategies does your guide recommend?
This one might seem obvious, but it's often overlooked. Making time for activities you enjoy.
Okay.
Think about it. When was the last time you got lost in a hobby? Something that brought you pure joy and satisfaction.
It's funny you should ask that. I used to love painting, but I haven't picked up a brush in months. I've been so caught up in work and obligations, I totally forgot about it. But just thinking about it now, I feel this sense of excitement.
I love that.
Like a part of me has been dormant, just waiting to be reawakened.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Hobbies aren't just frivolous pastimes. They're essential for our well-being. They provide us with a sense of accomplishment, a chance to learn and grow, a way to express our creativity.
It's not just about leisure time, it's about nurturing our passions.
Yeah, I got it.
And finding outlets for our energy and creativity. I'm definitely making time for painting this weekend.
I love that. It doesn't even have to be something big or elaborate. It could be as simple as reading a good book, listening to your favorite music,
Ah,
or taking a walk in nature.
right. It's about finding those little things that bring you joy. I'm
Exactly.
sensing a theme here. It's all about being intentional with our choices, creating space for things that bring us joy, and prioritizing our own
You
well-being.
got it.
And it's not selfish to do these things.
Not at all.
In fact, when we take care of ourselves, we're actually better equipped to show up for others.
Absolutely.
So it's like a win-win.
It is.
We feel good, and the world benefits from our happiness and well-being. I love it.
Me too.
Okay, this has been amazing, but we're not done yet, are we?
Nope. We still have one more important piece to cover.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Let's talk about it.
All right, gotta say, after those last two segments, I'm feeling pretty inspired. We've talked about mindful breathing, the power of no, nurturing our creativity, so much good stuff. But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't explored yet. Something your guide highlights as like a cornerstone of well-being.
You're talking about sleep.
I know it. I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I've always been one of those I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of people, wearing my sleep deprivation like a badge of honor.
I've been there.
But your guide really made me rethink my relationship with sleep. It's not just about feeling rested, it's about giving our brains and bodies the time they need to repair and recharge.
It's true. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, often at the expense of sleep.
We do.
But the science is clear. When we consistently shortchange ourselves on sleep, we pay the price, both physically and mentally.
In what ways?
It affects everything. Our mood, our cognitive function, our immune system, our stress response.
Wow, okay, you've officially convinced me. Those 7 to 9 hours are non-negotiable from now on. But what about those of us who struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep? Any tips for improving sleep quality?
Absolutely. Creating a consistent bedtime routine is key. It signals to your body that it's time to wind down.
Okay, like what?
Think dimming the lights, taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to calming music, that kind of thing.
I like it.
And one of the most important things, avoid screens for at least an hour before bed.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know, right?
I'm definitely guilty of scrolling through my phone before bed.
Me too, it's so tempting.
It is.
But that blue light from screens, it can interfere with melatonin production, which regulates our sleep-wake cycle.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm willing to try anything to improve my sleep. So, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. Stress management, mood boosters, now sleep. It's amazing how all these seemingly separate areas are actually interconnected, isn't it?
It really is. That's what makes this well-being journey so fascinating. It's not about compartmentalizing different aspects of our lives. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of it all.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that.
Like, think about the connection between exercise, sleep, and stress management. Regular exercise can help you manage stress, which in turn can improve your sleep quality.
Right.
And when you're well rested,
Yeah.
you have more energy to exercise and cope with stress. It's a beautiful cycle.
It is. It's like a domino effect. One positive habit can trigger a cascade of positive changes in other areas of our lives.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with?
I'd say remember that well-being is not a destination. It's a journey. It's about making choices each day that nourish our minds, bodies, and spirits. It's about being kind to ourselves, celebrating small victories, and remembering that progress, not perfection, is the key.
Beautiful. I love that. It's not about overhauling our entire lives overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. And I have to say, after this deep dive, I'm feeling incredibly inspired to do just that. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and wisdom with us today.
It's been my pleasure, truly. And remember, you have all the tools you need to create a life that is both fulfilling and well-balanced. Trust yourself, listen to your body, and enjoy the journey.
That's it for today's deep dive, everyone. We hope you found it informative, inspiring, maybe even a little bit life-changing. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all in this together, one step at a time. Until next time, keep diving deep.